The very story that you may find embarrassing, it may be the very story that someone else needs to hear. So this is day 4 of me reading letters to you that will uplift you, encourage you, maybe even make you think, maybe get you out of your comfort zone. So let's go. Dear Bestie, the very thing that you overcame, there's a party that feels embarrassed by it because it even happened. I'm telling you right now, you need to share it. You need to share it. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and one of the things that the woman said was she was very embarrassed to share she had breast cancer and overcame it. And her friend looked at her and said, "Don't hog your journey because someone else needs to hear it." Let me tell you, I felt that. And I just took in those words. Don't hog your journey because someone else needs to hear it. Because there's many times where I've seen transformation in my life, but didn't share it because I felt that the transformation before it was just too embarrassing. I felt like, oh, but I don't want to share it, even though I have overcame it, because someone's going to judge me. Or they're going to look at me in a different way. Or my biggest worries were like, well, how would Nakia get to that point? Why would she let herself even get to that point? But when I heard that quote and he said, don't hog your journey, it's just not for you, it was a reminder that everything we go through, there's someone else that needs to hear it. There's always a reason for it. It never goes in vain. As much as we may think, oh, I want to put all the things that I went through past me, behind me, there's always a reason of why you went through it. You may be the very example of someone that needed to go through it so someone else can see what's possible. And that was a very hard reminder for me. It hit me so hard. How many times have you concealed and locked your testimony in a box? Because you didn't want to share the hard part of it. You didn't want to be super vulnerable because you're like, what are people going to think? I don't want to share it. I'm past it now. I had enough of it, God. Leave that behind me. How many times did you just stay quiet because you're like, well, it's not that big of a deal? Or you downplayed it and said anyone would get through that. By the way, that's not true. There's a lot of people out there who didn't overcome their issues, unfortunately. And so it's a big deal. If you have something in your life where you have overcame it, not many people overcome it. This is going to be the year that you share your journey, good or bad, and let people learn or take what they will from it. Don't keep it to yourself. Because when we keep it to ourselves, I believe it holds other people's journeys back. It stops other people from progressing in their journey because it takes away from other people seeing what's possible. It takes away from them being able to see, oh, okay, that person did it, so I can do it. Think about a time in your life where you saw someone overcome something that you were going through, and how did it help you? I bet it changed your life. I bet it kept you alive one more day. I bet it helped you take one step forward, even if it was small. Never think that what you have overcome is just for yourself. Nor should you ever think that what you're going through right now, you are alone in it. Because I bet you there's someone else that has went through it and probably shared how they overcame it. There's someone out there, and it's because of them that a lot of people move forward, because they see the other side of it. They see the end of the story. About a few years ago, this was when I was getting used to being in my solitude era. I didn't have anyone to go with, and I decided to go to the beach near my house. And I remember being so nervous to go because I was like, oh, I don't have anyone to go with. Let me know if you have done that in the comments. And it just happened to be a really very hot day. And I don't know, man, there was something in me where I was just determined. And it was just one of those days where I was not having it. I was like, it's a beautiful day out. There's no way I'm going to stay inside the house. So I gave myself a pep talk. You know what? I'm just going to go. And I remember when I had my bathing suit on, and I remember when I hit the water. Okay. It was so nice and warm. I was expecting cold water, but it was so nice and warm. And it's like I could hear the birds sing. I could hear like angels singing, saying, ha. I literally felt like that. It was like in that moment, I was like, this is the right decision. And I heard a voice say, why didn't I do this sooner? And I was so glad I did it. And when I got out of the water, I took a picture because I was like, I have to remember this day. There was a whole family that even had a barbecue. They even offered me food and everything. And the day was so amazing. Even though it was embarrassing, right? Because I didn't have anyone to go with. I was like, you know what? I'm going to post this on Facebook. I'm going to write about my whole experience. Because it was one of the best days ever. And there's something about overcoming a challenge where you feel embarrassed about it, or it feels like an obstacle, and you do it anyways. Do you know the post that I made that day got over 200 likes? And it had tons of comments of people saying how much they related, talking about how sometimes they struggle with going alone, or some of them say, yeah, I do the same thing. I would go alone to A, B, and C, and D. Me being very vulnerable, related to people, because they went through it, but probably didn't talk about it, probably didn't share it, but I did. So this is your sign. If you have something to share, if you have something very embarrassing to share, you need to share it, girl. Because you have overcame it. There's no reason to have any embarrassment of sharing moments that you have overcome. You have overcame it and made you a new person. You probably got a new revelation from it. And even if it wasn't the typical ideal story that you would want to share, it's something that you learned from it. Someone needs to hear that journey of yours. Don't keep it by yourself. This could be anything from if you've had financial hardship and you overcame it. Maybe you had a difficult marriage, you overcame it. Maybe you had a hard time with friendships, you overcame it. You're feeling lonely, depressed, anxious, stressed, whatever it may be. And you figured out, even if it's a little solution, small solution, someone needs to hear that story. If you have enjoyed this letter series, feel free to drop a comment below saying letters. And I would love to send you like a mystery letter written specifically to you. Bye.